Hey Virgo, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot. My name's Carol, and this is your reading for May 2024. And if you're new to my channel, I want to welcome you. This is a new channel. I started it in December 2023, and I'm glad you found me. And if you're coming back, welcome back. I'm glad to see you again. So always want you to comment below just to let me know if it resonates. I love getting comments, nice ones. I've gotten some real weird ones lately. Not a lot, to tell you the truth, but I've got some really good comments from you to say that this is resonating. So I appreciate that when you do comment below. All right, so let's begin this month, Virgo. What I want to do for you is I want to do your healing map. So I'm really looking at what map is taking place here this month for you. And so in order to do that, we're going to start off with what situation you're sitting in. And I find that when I ask Tarot to show me what situation you're sitting in, it's always going to give me sometimes a pattern coming up, you know, something that's repeating. Maybe the same relationships are showing up, the same types of people are showing up, and you can't figure out why you're attracting these people into your space. Maybe there's some sort of a struggle, a decision you have to make. Something's going on with your partner, colleague, friend. What are you sitting with? What struggle are you sitting with this month? And then what I want to look at, which is really important in the second line, is what needs healing. And why is that impacting what situation you're sitting on? Believe it or not, it has a huge impact on it. So what we're going to do is, in order to find out what needs healing, I'm going to ask Tarot to show me what is coming up in your shadow. So we're going to be doing some shadow work. If you are unfamiliar with those two terms, shadow and shadow work, I'm going to leave a video at the end of this video, and I'm also going to put it in the description box. And it's called my Powerful 4-Step Guide for Shadow Work. It's a video that I've put together myself, and it really is a compilation of other videos that I've done. It's a really good guide to get you going on healing your shadow. And those are the things that we have repressed, things we've been told all our life, things we don't like about ourselves, and even our gifts. There are gifts in there. There are things we're meant to do, and they're hidden. Our shadow lives in the unconscious. And believe it or not, our unconscious is the most powerful out of what we know. Our conscious is what we know, but the unconscious is, I found it online, it was something like 85% of what we don't know that's what sits in our unconscious. That's what is having the effect on us. And so that other 15% is what we know. And that's what our ego will tell us, right? And so we need to start looking at what's coming up from our unconscious that needs healing in regards to this pattern or this situation or the struggle that you're sitting with. Because that's what's going to help us out of it. And after we do that, we're going to look at, well, how can I heal this? How can I heal this? Because a lot of times, I can sit and I can tell you what's coming up. But the other thing is, well, how do I heal it? Because it'll get what it does is it gets a little bit more into detail about what you need to heal, what and how to heal it. So, and finally, what is the outcome for you? What are you going to get out of this if you heal this? Because a lot of us are don't want to get on this healing journey. Well, we all are on it, believe it or not, but a lot of us really can push ourselves forward just a bit more and start to heal and start to look at this, our shadow, and then there's going to be something great that's going to come out of this. There always is something good that comes out of our healing. So what's going to be the outcome for you? So let's begin, Virgo. I'm going to ask the tarot right now for 3 cards to begin with. What situation is Virgo sitting here right now? What are they sitting with right now? So if you can give me 3 cards, please, for Virgo. Got our first card, which is the Knight of Wands in reverse. There it goes Okay, 2 more, please. 2 more cards for Virgo, for the issue that they're dealing with right now. Oh, nice. Queen of Swords in reverse. I like how they just laid them out on the table. The Devil in reverse. So your whole, interesting. Your whole upper first level here is in reverse. All right, we'll talk about that. Next is what needs healing. What needs healing for Virgo to deal with this situation that they're sitting in? The King of Cups. And 1 more card here that needs healing. Something itching on my back. It's hard being a tarot reader because a lot of times my nose itches when I'm on camera. I don't know why. I've seen that before with a lot of tarot readers. The nose itches. And you get itches and you're like, okay, you can't do this. You gotta just read the card. Okay, 1 more card, please, for what needs healing. Without itching, please. Oh, I think a few cards want to come out there. Let's try 1 more time. Oh, the Tower. What needs healing is the Tower. Interesting card to come out here. How can I heal this? How can Virgo heal this? 3 cards. That one wanted to come out. Ooh, the 5 of Cups in reverse. The 5 of Cups in reverse. 2 more cards here. And I got 2 more. The 4 of Cups. Interesting. Right after the 5. And the Empress card in reverse. And then finally, 2 cards for what the outcome is for Virgo here. The 3 of Pentacles. 1 more. That 3 of Pentacles comes up often. Okay, Wheel of Fortune wanted to come out. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune. All right. So I'm using the Rider-Waite, obviously, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to clarify with a mini tarot if I need it. Rider-Waite, and then I'm going to pull a spirit animal for you at the end. It's called the Spirit Animal Pocket Deck. It's they're little cards, but this comes in the bigger version, the Spirit Animal deck here. And I like that. I like pulling my spirit animals. Love my spirit animals. It was so cool yesterday. I was out hiking, and I saw these birds flying in the air, and I realized it was looked like, it could have been a hawk, could have been a big crow too. It was chasing an eagle. It was so cool to watch them just flying around. I think the eagle was just having a game with it. Okay, let's begin. I want to talk about, I did a yearly reading for you, Virgo, in December when I put it out at the end of December, I believe. And it was for the yearly reading for 2024. And in that reading, I pulled out 12 cards for you, 1 for each month. And so the card that I pulled out for you was, in May, was the Hanged Man, which is an interesting card to get for your overriding energy. So this is going to be the overriding energy for this reading. And the Hanged Man is all about, this individual is hanging upside down, but in no way do they look like they're uncomfortable at all. And so the Hanged Man is really, it's a major arcana card. And it's an important universal force where it kind of says, sometimes we need to get a different perspective on things. And when we do, like literally, it's interesting if you ever hung yourself upside down, you do get to see things, looking at things upside down, you do get to see things in it with a different perspective or in a different perspective. And you see the world in a different way. And this is coming out where, for you, where, maybe you're starting to see something in a different way. Sometimes it can also mean that you're just getting more comfortable in your own skin. And when you become more comfortable in your own skin, it kind of, allows you to see things differently, right? Because if you're always, worried about yourself and what people think about yourself, you're always kind of on guard, right? And you're not really able to show who you really are. And so this card sometimes is about, just feeling more comfortable. You're able to, when you start feeling more comfortable, you can start to see things in a different way. So we'll see how that's going to turn out for this reading here. So let's look at what situation you're sitting in. Well, we start off with a Knight of Wands and then a Queen of Swords. So let's look at our Knight of Wands here. You get a Knight of Wands in reverse. And so I want to look at the Knight of Wands here. And I'm going to look at that in upright position. All my knights, my 4 knights in my deck, I call them my freedom fighters. They are an adolescent part of us. So we all have like inner children, which are, smaller parts of us, but we also have like adolescent part of us. And this, if you think of an adolescent, and before you say, I don't have this part, or what are you talking about? Or I just want you to listen to this, because there's a part of you that wants to be free. There's a part of you that wants to be free, to be yourself, to do what you want to do. And every single person has that in them. I've talked to so many people where they just want to be free. They want to be free to, so there's so many things that sometimes get us caught up in life, and it just feels like it's taking away our freedom. And this particular night is the Knight of Wands. And the wand in, the suit of wands is very much a suit of, what your true purpose is, of taking your life in a new direction, of doing what you want to do, being authentic, being creative, those things. And this wand wants the freedom, this knight wants the freedom to take his wand and go do what he wants to do, right? To have the freedom to do that. Tell me you don't have that part, to just go and do what you want to do. Think of all the things in your head that are telling you, or all the thoughts that are saying, you can't do that. And it'll give you a reason why you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. Like, this is the part of us that wants to go and do what they want to do. But it's in reverse right now, which means it's blocked. Or there's a resistance to doing what you want to do for some reason. What's blocking it? So it's coming out now for you to look at. This is where you're sitting right now. Now, when my knights are blocked, usually they're blocked. And when they are blocked, think of an adolescent who wants to do something, who wants to be free, to go and do something. And they're told no. Well, what reaction are you going to get? Well, you're going to get anger, for sure. And that could turn into depression. And so what I'm seeing here is you may be sitting in a place coming into this reading where you're sitting with some anger, or it's kind of brewing under the surface here, or you're sitting with some hopelessness because there's something that you want to do. And maybe you don't even know there's something that you want to do, but you're just sitting here where you're feeling like you want some freedom. You want freedom. More freedom in your life to do what you want to do. Maybe it's taken up by a lot of different people. And maybe, you spend your life maybe, serving other people, but you want freedom here. And it's being blocked here. So there's some anger that you got to get at. So, could be some real hopelessness that's coming up. And right behind that is the Queen of Swords. She's in reverse as well. So let's take a look at the Queen. The Queen is the feminine aspect to ourselves. We all have a feminine aspect and we all have a masculine aspect. We just don't know it. And it has nothing to do with our gender. Now, some of us will lean more towards the other, but unfortunately, in today's society, it's a patriarchal society, so it's very much masculine-led, and unfortunately, the female qualities, the female aspect of herself has been repressed for too long. She holds these beautiful qualities, and the one quality that's coming out here, and she's in reverse, so it's blocked here, is authenticity. And I'm going to tell you something. The knights in particular, they want freedom. They want freedom to be real, to be authentic, and to go and do what they want to do. And that's what, an adolescent part of us would want. They want to be themselves. And she's blocked. She's blocked as well. So you have two strong cards that have come out in reverse here that speak, that scream you wanting to be free, to do what you want to do, and to be authentic. And both of them are blocked. Now, very interesting here, because I think what happens is because you have these two parts of you that are blocked and are screaming at you for freedom to come out. And so I sense here that there's probably some real hopelessness that's going on, that you're sitting in a position now where you're just feeling like, what's the point? Nothing's going to change in my life. Because the devil comes out right after, and the devil here is in reverse. The devil here speaks about those things that we use in our life, these attachments, things like scrolling on your phone, things like alcohol, things like drugs, things that we're going to use. Could even be like, we could be very much into fitness, to a point that's too much, or things that will cause us, that will help us numb our pain. And those are our addictions. And we all have them. I have them. We can all have one. Most of us have more than one. And these are what we use to numb that pain, because underneath that's why this is blocked here. Because I'm seeing here that this is really needing to be looked at. It really has become an issue in your life here, because it's really now turned over, and there is a need for you to start to, and maybe you've realized that, and maybe you've come to a point where you're like, yeah, you're becoming more aware. And this hangman here, and now I'm going to bring this back into play here, because this hangman here is really getting a different perspective on life. It's getting more aware in May. And so I'm wondering if you're really starting to say, well, yeah, these addictions are really blocking, are really numbing out a lot of, just becoming aware that they're numbing, right? I will never on this channel say to you that you need to stop cold turkey your addictions. Like, I won't tell you that, because you know your situation. However, I will say that you are starting to build an awareness around the effect that your addictions are having on you. And they really are numbing, this hopelessness that you're sitting in could be some of your anger, because that wants to come out. I'm wondering if you are sitting in some depression right now, and you're blocking it you're numbing it with your addictions, is what I'm seeing is turning out for you right here. Now, what's coming up for you to heal, and that's important to start to bring an awareness to what's coming up from your shadow. Why are you numbing this? Like, what's going on here? And your King of Cups comes in here. And the King of Cups this is your shadow, right? So our shadow are those things that we've repressed, things that people told us. It lives in our unconscious. There are things that you don't even know that's in there, our belief systems. And our shadow also has beautiful gifts, right? That maybe things have been discouraged. When you were younger, when you were maybe an adolescent, you were told you couldn't do something, right? You wanted the freedom to do something, and you were told you couldn't. And so a lot of this is just stirring in your unconscious, right? And it's what's causing you to feel this pain, but you're blocking it. You're numbing it out. And the King of Cups comes in here in your shadow. There's some emotions in here that are sitting here, obviously, in your shadow that need to be healed. You know, emotions like shame, which is our self-worth, that will very much make us feel hopeless. A lot of grief can be sitting in there when you were a child. If you weren't allowed to do something, and especially something you wanted to do when you were younger, and you were discouraged from doing it for some reason, or you were told terrible things, there's a lot of grief there. But the King of Cups, and my king is, you know, we talked about the queen being the feminine aspect. The king here is the masculine aspect. And that's our ego. That's our mind. The queen is all about the body. The ego here, the king, is all about living in our head, living in our mind. It's a very safe place to live in our head because we don't have emotions up here. We have emotions in our body, right? That's why we numb the body. The mind is all about the ego. And the ego does not like emotions at all. Petrified of emotions. And this is the King of Cups that's sitting in your shadow. And there is a part of you, your ego, that is telling you that don't go there. Don't dare go and touch those emotions because they're dangerous. And it's the ego tells us, don't go there. And so we continue to, you know, numb everything down with our addictions. We all do it. We all get on the phone and scroll. We all have our addictions. But it's time to look at this because there's a tower moment here that's sitting in your shadow. There is something that has happened to you, you know, where you were told not to touch those emotions. And this tower moment is in your shadow because there is something that happened to you, or some things that have happened to you that are sitting there that were really, really painful. Tower moments, when they come in our life, are very, very life-changing, painful events. And there's something that's sitting in your shadow. You may or may not be aware of it. Some people are aware. Yeah, that probably happened to me, and that's all I need to know. But you got to feel what happened to you. You may know about it, but you got to feel it. And then you may not know about it here. And so there was a life-changing event. Could have been some more, but there's one here that really shook you up. And the ego put it all away, shoved it down in your shadow and said, we're not dealing with that. We're not dealing with emotions anymore. You shut down. It was too painful for you to deal with when you were younger. When things happen to us, big events like that, life-changing events, very painful events, we're too young sometimes to deal with those emotions that come with it, so we put it away. Or sometimes we were just not allowed to deal with them. We didn't have supportive people around us, and so we put it away. And that's what's happened to you right here. This tower moment has come up. There was a tower moment when you're younger, and it's buried here in your shadow, and you shut down. And that's why, you know, all of these things up here, that's why you're numbing out here. So how can you heal this? How can you start to heal this? Well, this Five of Cups is the first one that comes up here, and this tells me that where you're sitting, really. So you're sitting, this is in reverse here, right? So it tells me that there's a real resistance to dealing with this when it's in reverse. So in an upright position, you have this individual that has these 3 cups, 5 cups here. 5 is all about emotions. And you can see that in the background here, you have water flowing. And right here. And the water means our emotions. Emotions are meant to flow. They're supposed to flow in, and they're supposed to flow out. We're not supposed to get stuck on a certain emotion. We're not supposed to get stuck in depression. You know, where we think that we're stuck and we have to deal with this all our life. Well, this particular individual is stuck on these 3 cups right here and has remained focused on these 3 cups that are spilled here. And you can see how that they're almost their heads down. And, you know, that could be a lot of shame, a lot of unworthiness, depression. That's what leads to that you know, the unworthiness you feel about yourself. You don't see a way out of this. You're focused on these 3 cups and you don't see a way out. You don't see that there's 2 others here that are not spilled. You don't see that there's this silver lining here at the end, this bridge. There is a way out of this. There is a way out, but you don't see it. And so this whole May for you is about bringing a new awareness, this hangman, putting things into a different perspective for yourself, beginning to understand that there is a way out. And I know when you're sitting in all this hopelessness, it doesn't seem like there's a way out. I do a lot of journaling around my hopelessness. I journal from, and I have videos that I've put out actually that I talk about in my powerful 4-step guide for shadow work. I do a lot of videos on depression and how to get out of that and how to write and journal from that. Like that whole feeling of what's the point? Why bother? No, nothing's going to change. And that's where you're sitting in right now. And that's the perspective that needs to change. How are you going to heal this? You know, go to my 4-step guide. Look at how you journal from your hopelessness. And one of the hardest things to do is to journal from hopelessness when you're feeling hopeless. But that is the only thing, and I'm going to say it again, that is the only thing that will get you out. I have tried everything to deal with my own hopelessness. I have complex trauma. And I have, whenever my hopelessness shows up, whenever my depression shows its ugly head, I have to go and write. And believe me, it's the hardest thing in the world to do because I want to continue to sit on my couch and not get up. But I've learned to journal from my hopelessness. And right after that, you know, how do you heal this? Well, here's an offer from the universe. Do you see this little offer coming in here? Here's an Ace of Cups again. That's what the Ace of Cups is. It's an offer from the universe. It's a gift. You're sitting here. We already talked about how something has happened in their tower moment and how you've decided that you have these 3 cups that you're focusing on. And it's about you focus on these 3 emotions. You've crossed your arms. You said, I'm done with feeling. There's no freaking way I'm going back to feeling. I'm good, thanks. No, good, thanks. But the universe is saying, oh no, here's another cup for you. Here's a cup for you. And when the universe offers you a gift, you take it. Universe, God, creator, source, whatever you want to call it. It's time to take this new offer from them and start to feel again. You know, that's what's going to get you out of your situation. The Empress card, no surprise at all, comes. She's this last one that's sitting here about how you deal with this. The Empress, she's blocked. Okay, she's blocked because she's in reverse. Let's look at her in the upright position. The Empress is card number 3 in the Major Arcana. In the Major Arcana, which is really the journey of the Fool throughout the tarot. And that is these archetype moments that you meet up with in your life. And they all happen to all of us. And this is the Empress. She is the feminine energy. We talked about the Queens being the feminine energy as well. That will show up in our day-to-day lives. She is the universal force, the feminine energy here. We have a masculine and we have feminine. She's the Empress. Now, the feminine energy in the Major Arcana is actually split into 2 cards. It's split into number 3, the Empress, and number 2, the High Priestess. High Priestess deals with our intuition, which is a beautiful feminine quality that we all have. She deals with the body. The Empress loves the body. She experiences everything from the body. again, we said that she's blocked right now. She lives from the body. She feels all her emotions. She is very creative, very authentic. But the main thing about the Empress is that she feels her emotions. She does not, she's in reverse, she's blocked. And so because she is blocked, it tells me that yes, you are dealing with hopelessness. You might even be dealing with some anger, because sometimes we need to get angry before we can actually get to the grief that is that emotion that we all need to feel, that's just going to wash over us and bring out, it sheds the old shit that we have living in us, and it brings out something new for us. And right now you're needing a new perspective on life. You're needing something to really shift in your life and get you out of this hopeless state that you're in. This is a very dark reading for you, Virgo, in that I mean, you're dealing with depression, right? And you're dealing with hopelessness. But I think it's very important now, because it says here that you are bringing a real awareness, and maybe you're wanting to finally take this cup here and start to feel some of this hopelessness that you're feeling. It's real. I would highly recommend that you look at this video and you find out how to journal. I talk about journaling in there, how to journal from your hopelessness. All that shit, like nothing's gonna change. Why bother? You need to journal over and over and over about that, so that you can start to clear that out of your system and start to feel again. What's the outcome for you? What is the outcome once you start dealing with your depression, your hopelessness, some of your anger maybe? What's the outcome here? Well, the outcome here is well, it says this is the Three of Pentacles here. This is a card of creativity. This is a card of starting something new. And a lot of times the outcome here is, I see you. For me, this card is coming out so often this month. And this is really a card of getting some help. Getting some help to help. Getting someone to help you on your journey. And for me, it's a card of maybe you need a bit of therapy. Maybe you need to get back into therapy. Maybe you need to start therapy if you've never done it before. And because sometimes when we get into that, this Three of Cups kind of thing, these emotions, when we're really closed off, you have this individual with his arms crossed, and it's like, no thanks, I'm good, I had enough. We get to that point. I've got to that point so many times where it's like, I'm fucking done. I'm done healing. I'm done with this journey. I'm done with it. And but then the thing is about it, these things keep turning up, right? Or we can keep, numbing out. I've done that, do that. Yeah, we can keep doing that. But I think it's time here. Like, I think I see you kind of turning over a new leaf here, where you're just getting a new perspective on your stuff and going, I think I want to kick this can. Like, I want to really get at this. And the beautiful outcome, you got the Wheel of Fortune. When you get stuck in this pattern of hopelessness and depression and numbing ourselves out, we can stop this wheel. We think we're stopping it. We think we're just kind of numbing out everything. We're just going to put it all on pause for a while. But once you start getting back into your body and feeling some of these emotions again, getting out of our head, back in our body, you're going to get this wheel to start to turn again, right? And that's when you're going to start to see things in a whole new perspective. Life is going to start changing for you, and that's what the Wheel of Fortune is about. Beautiful reading for you in the end, Virgo. Things are going to look up for you, right? It's a powerful month for you. So let me pull a spirit animal card for Virgo here. We have 15 of them that want to come out for you. Wow. All these animals are coming out for you. They're cheering you on, Virgo. but I just want one. Here we go. Ooh, love this one. I don't think I've had this one before. That's a beautiful card for you. Maybe some of you are into horses because you got the horse spirit. Beautiful card for you. And, you know, we talked about freedom at the beginning, and this is called Freedom is Yours. Freedom is yours. I think I'll call it this video, this Freedom is Yours. What does the horse spirit say to you? When horse spirit appears, you are gifted with the spirit of movement and freedom. I didn't make that up. It says it right here. It is time for travel and adventure, whether that means a trip somewhere or taking a different type of journey, one of freedom of choice. Horse spirit reminds you that no matter the circumstances, you have free will and are capable of making powerful choices that will affect you for a long time to come. Horses are social animals and known to be a friend to mankind, willing to carry us forward when we need it. Horse spirit reminds you that help will be available and companions will be by your side. Here's the help. Help will come to you when you really put it out to the universe that you want it. And I believe in that. Help will come to you when you really want it. When you decide that you want to make a change for yourself. If your inquiry is about a relationship, you can set your heart free to experience love in all forms. Spirit whispers to you that the gift of freedom is yours if you allow yourself to break out of your perfectionism and stubbornness. You know, that's that stubbornness here where, no, not doing it anymore. I'm done. I don't want to heal anymore. Make a move and enjoy the freedom of letting go of the need to control. Wow. That was a beautiful card here that came out for you. It was everything. Take care, Virgo. I will see you soon. Bye.